Hey there and welcome back. We're going to dive back into Cochrane's real estate market, find out what happened in the month of September, what to look forward to going into the month of October, and if I've managed to pull you away from Taylor Swift's new album drop. Thanks for being here. I'll keep this one super brief. So like my household, I'm sure you can get back to just binge listening to the new album. Now, first up, for the month of September, Cochrane has set a new monthly record for new listings. Last month, we had 148 new listings, which drove inventory up 83% and drove our monthly supply up 73%, up over 5 months. Now, with that huge amount of inventory, we've touched on it in the previous video, so I think it's important to talk about now. 44% of those listings are new construction. The big kicker, however, is in the duplex market, where over 60% of the listings currently on the market are new construction. So if you're in the duplex market, only 40% of the active listings might have a quick possession time frame, whereas a bulk of those new construction listings are likely to be under construction with varying possession dates. So keep that in mind. Now, with the increase in new listings, obviously it's natural Cochrane finally saw a little bit of a slide in the benchmark price month to month, down about 1%. Now, with that, Cochrane is still 1% higher in its benchmark price over last year at this time. So again, with this rise of inventory, Cochrane is still managing to weather that storm a little bit better than the surrounding communities. And that's highlighted by the fact that Airdrie was down 5% and Okotoks was down 3% in their benchmark price year over year. So Cochrane, being the one community around Calgary that is managing to have higher inventory levels, have higher new listing counts, but still maintain a benchmark price increase year over year, showing that purchasing here in Cochrane is a pretty safe bet in terms of weathering the slower market times and still retaining or gaining in property value. Now, one of the big reasons that Cochrane has still managed to retain its value year over year in the benchmark price is that Cochrane, while the sales numbers were relatively low at 62 units per September, it was still up 6.9% over last year. Comparing that across to Airdrie was down 12% in their sales numbers for the month of September, and Okotoks was down 4%. That is kind of highlighting why Cochrane is still holding its value, is it's still managing to increase sales numbers year over year. Now, when we jump into the detached market, everything in the Calgary region is down for the most part, other than being way east in Strathmore. Calgary being down 1%, Cochrane is also down 1%, so things are pretty par there. Airdrie is down 4%, and Okotoks is down 3%. So again, while Cochrane in the detached market specifically has lost a little bit of value year over year, it's matching the bigger center of Calgary and still a few percent ahead of both Airdrie and Okotoks. Now, what to expect as a buyer right now in Cochrane for the next month and going into the winter? We are entering into more of a buyer's market. We are not seeing multi-offer situations. We are not seeing homes sell for above asking price as the common trend. In fact, our average list price to sale price ratio is about 98% here in Cochrane. So again, trending to under ask would be the way to go there. And then obviously with that 5 months of supply, there is a ton of inventory on the market. So there's plenty to choose from if you're a buyer. Looking ahead, if you're a seller, right now is when pricing is very important. You're not just competing with prior month solds at this point. You are competing with what is on the market and has maybe been sitting on the market for more than a month. And so pricing right now is the most important thing you can do as a seller in order to ensure that your property is seen by everybody on the market and maybe get a showing out of it while it's competing against 300 other listings. If you'd like to know how this market is currently affecting you as a buyer or a seller, I'd love to take the time to sit down on a video call and chat about your situation with you. I hope you find these videos useful. Again, I tried to keep this one quick so you can get back to your Taylor Swift. And until next time, I will see you in the next one.